You can't discuss virtual currencies for very long without bumping into references to blockchain. As we explained in one of our videos, blockchain is the technology that powers Bitcoin and many other virtual currencies. In the case of Bitcoin, blockchain functions through the participation of many individuals who offer their computing power to maintain the peer-to-peer Bitcoin network, which sends and receives Bitcoins. I know it's a little puzzling, and you probably have gone on the internet and read a few articles, you watched a few videos to figure out how blockchain works. Now that you understand that, you're still confused. How can this technology be used in the real world? New thinking, new finance. Welcome to the Legend Finance Academy. Today we're gonna talk blockchain in plain English. In simple terms, blockchain is a distributed database that everyone can get a copy of. Every person with a copy can add new records to this database, but cannot change any record that's already in there. This property makes a blockchain great to record data in a transparent way because everyone gets to see what's in it. So how can it be used? Well, in this video, I'll give you 5 examples. Cryptocurrency. Obviously, let's start with the most popular application of blockchains, and that is cryptocurrencies. When Bitcoin launched in 2008, it allowed people to directly transact with one another without involving any trusted third party, like a bank. Since then, over 1,600 different cryptocurrencies have been created. But cryptocurrencies seem to be far from our normal life. You might be wondering, why not apply such technology in real life? For example, on cars. Ever heard of odometer fraud? By tampering with the odometer, someone can make a car appear to be newer and less worn out, resulting in buyers paying more than what the car is actually worth. The government tries to counter this by collecting the mileage of cars when they get a safety inspection, but that's far from enough. So instead, we could replace regular odometers with smart ones that are connected to the internet and write the car's mileage to a blockchain regularly. This would create a secure and digital certificate for each car. It records mileage and GPS data of cars and secures that on the blockchain, which strongly hinders odometer fraud. Drivers own and control their data while at the same time data integrity is ensured. Actually, this technology is already being developed by Bosch's IoT lab, and they've tested it on a fleet of 100 cars in Germany and Switzerland. Besides odometers, we can also keep tracking things like intellectual property or patents, or it can even function as a notary. There was a website stampd.io, for instance, allowed you to add documents to the Bitcoin or Ethereum blockchain. Once added, you can always prove that you created a document at a certain point in time, much like a notary. Although right now blockchains are not widely accepted as notaries in a legal perspective. Another exciting application is digital voting. Right now, voting could be a mess. Paper ballots costs a lot of money and electronic voting has security issues, even with special computers that are running proprietary software. In recent years, we've even seen countries move away from digital voting and adopting paper again, because they fear that electronic votes can be tampered with and influenced by hackers. But instead of paper, we could use blockchains to cast and store votes. Such a system would be very transparent as everyone could verify the voting count for themselves, and it would make tampering with it basically impossible. Definitely, bunch of challenges still exist, but if it becomes reality, it could make for a more transparent and practical voting system. Let's move to yet another example, the food industry. They could use blockchain technology to track their food products from farms to tables. See, every year almost 500,000 people die because of foodborne diseases, and a great part of the reason is it takes too long to isolate the food that is causing the tragedy. Blockchains could help us to create a digital certificate for each piece of food, proving where it came from and where it has been. Walmart and IBM are currently working on such a system. It allowed them to trace the origin of a box of mangoes in just 2 seconds, while it might take days or even weeks with a traditional tracking system. A similar system could be applied to other industries as well. We could use it to track regular products and battle counterfeit goods by allowing anyone to verify whether or not the product comes from the manufacturer you think it does. Another idea would be to track packages and shipments by using a blockchain. That is something IBM and container shipping giant Maersk are working on, a decentralized ledger to help with making global trade of goods more efficient. So far, we looked at ways blockchains can be used to keep track of information and verify its integrity. But blockchains can be even more powerful when we add smart contracts to them. These contracts are tiny programs that live on the blockchain and act when particular conditions are met. Insurance companies could use smart contracts to validate claims and calculate a payout. Or they could allow us to only pay for car insurance when we're driving. But it goes even further. With smart contracts, we can secure our own data on a blockchain. For instance, they could allow us to store our medical records on a blockchain and only allow doctors to access them when we approve it with a digital signature. Similarly, you could store your personal identity there and choose what data you want to reveal. Ordering alcohol in a bar only requires you to prove that you're over the legal drinking age, and with smart contracts, you can deliver that proof without revealing anything else. So, as you can see, blockchain technology can be applied in so many different industries. This video is just a brief overview of how they can be used, and it's by no means an overall introduction. That would make for a very long video, as there is so much happening in this space. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite application of blockchain technology is, and if you found this video interesting, consider getting subscribed. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.